WrestleMania 28 was the most enjoyable WrestleMania in forever. It has been forever. What a surprise. You know, in my old videos, I used to talk about how ever since WrestleMania got into the 20s, the WWE seemed to forget how to put on a WrestleMania. You know, it just didn't feel the same anymore. It didn't feel like those classic epic WrestleManias anymore. You know, WrestleMania became this bloated, overproduced, 4-hour mess of mediocrity with all these rematches and triple threat matches that looked like they weren't even trying. You know, you had Kid Rock singing for 10 minutes, substituting for the Diva intros. You had Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole going on forever while the U.S. title match is taken off the air. And you had Edge's world title match as the opening match on the card. You know, it just looked like they weren't even trying. It looked like they were just cashing in on the WrestleMania brand name while saving their good matches for other pay-per-views. A lot of people seem to begin to accept the mediocrity. Like, I would get messages from people saying, you know, PS Power, I understand your criticisms about WrestleMania, but, you know, it's been that way for a while now. That's just the way it is now in the entertainment era, you know? You might as well just take what you can get out of it, you know? But I can't do that. I can't accept mediocrity. I can't drink flat soda. You know, I think about the possibilities, how good things can be. And I call it like I see it. You know, WrestleMania 28 was the first time in a long time where it felt like the WWE was actually trying. You know, from the card to the show's execution, it actually felt like the WWE wanted the show to be good. You know, like, as I was watching WrestleMania 28, you know, this strange feeling came over me. You know, like, could this be the feeling of enjoyment? You know, from a WWE product? You know, that hasn't happened in such a long time. I assume most of you watched WrestleMania 28 or will watch it on your own at some point. So I'm not going to go through some kind of detailed match-by-match analysis. Instead, I'm just going to run through my thoughts and experiences during the show. First of all, indicative of the current state of pro wrestling, I could not find anyone to watch WrestleMania 28 with, okay? Look, WrestleMania 18, I watched that pay-per-view with a room full of maybe like 18, 20 people. WrestleMania 28, I watched it by myself, alright? I sent out a text message to all my local friends who watch wrestling, and I could not get one single person. I have the text message right here, alright? I can read some of them right now. Hold on. Right, most of them are just, you know, the typical I'm busy, no thank you kind of stuff, right? Right? One guy says, fuck WWE. Another guy said, I can't bear to watch Cena beat The Rock. You know J-Body? J-Body said, to hell with that. You know, these are not casual random fans. These are people that grew up with wrestling, and that's what they think of wrestling now. So I'm sitting there by myself. WrestleMania 28 begins, and I noticed something about the intro, and that's that it completely ignores the world champions, right? They show The Rock and Cena, then they show Undertaker, Triple H, you know, and that's it, you know? At no point during the intro does it mention CM Punk or Daniel Bryanson, and they're supposed to be our world champions, you know? Yet another indication of the state of pro wrestling. So the first match begins, and once again, WrestleMania opens with the world title match. And on top of that, Daniel Bryan drops the belt in like 2 seconds. I was like, shit. My friends were right. They were right for refusing to come. Yet another worthless entertainment era title reign at another worthless WrestleMania. The second match on the card was Randy Orton versus Kane. And there's not much you can really say about this match because it was just regular. You know, it was just regular. It was there to fill a spot on the card, right? But I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to get back to the topic of weight classes because I was thinking about that during this irrelevant match, right? Randy Orton. That right there, in my opinion, should be the minimum size of a heavyweight champion in wrestling, right? No Miz, no Rey Mysterio. The heavyweight champion doesn't need to be the size of Batista, but he's got to be at least, you know, Randy Orton, The Rock, John Cena, something like that, all right? Because in my opinion, if you put the title on some scrawny-ass guy that looks like he can barely carry the belt, unless he's got the charisma, the level of Shawn Michaels, which odds are he doesn't, He's just going to look like some ham and egger with the belt, right? Like I said before, a lot of my fans couldn't believe their eyes when they first saw CM Punk with the heavyweight title. They were like, that guy's the heavyweight champion? That guy? Here's another example. One of my friends who doesn't watch wrestling much anymore went to a WWE house show in 2011. Like my other friends, he said he could not believe his eyes when he saw some of the wrestlers. He said that besides John Cena and Kane, he looked bigger than every wrestler that walked out that night. Every single one besides John Cena and Kane. He said he could not believe that scrawny, wimpy-looking, straight-edge guy was the heavyweight champion, right? He was like, dude, I honestly believe that I would easily beat that CM Punk guy in a wrestling match. Easily, right? So, if we had a match and I pinned him, am I WWE champion? You know, he said he was hoping CM Punk would issue an open challenge to anyone so that he could climb in there and become WWE champion. You know, see, that's what happens when you have these scrawny-ass guys that the fans think they could beat in a wrestling match, right? The larger-than-life credibility of the world title is lost, right? Your fans should not be thinking that they can beat your world champion in a wrestling match. But, moving back to WrestleMania 28, the next match on the card was the Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title. Now, in my previous videos, I've been doing an ongoing opinion series on wrestling's disconnection with the fans. This match represents 2 upcoming chapters, so I'll talk about it then. But, I did want to compliment this match on respecting size differential, alright? No Rey Mysterio BS here. The Big Show takes a swipe, Cody Rhodes goes flying backwards. That's the way it should be, right? But a problem in this match was the Big Show, alright? He was smiling way too much, right? This is a WrestleMania title match. This is supposed to be important. Yet the Big Show's walking down the ring, you know, all casual, with a big smile on his face, like he's taking a walk on the beach, right? Let's lay out the stakes here, right? This is an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. This is what the Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat fought for at WrestleMania 3. This is supposed to be epic, you know, but yet, there's the Big Show with a big smile on his face like nothing's on the line, right? To me, that's disrespectful, right? You're supposed to sell the importance of the match. You know, throughout the match, I was like, stop smiling. Stop smiling, you big oaf. This is what Roddy Piper and Bret Hart fought for at WrestleMania 8. Stop fucking smiling. You know, if you're going to be like that, then Cody Rhodes should keep the belt. Next was the Divas match, which I have 2 quick comments on. First of all, Kelly's hair has gotten ridiculous, right? It's like down to her hips now, and it's like wrapping around her as she wrestles, right? It's like Tatanka wrestling while still wearing his headdress, you know? It's ridiculous. Second of all, just like the Big Show, Maria Menounos, or whatever her name is, nearly ruined the match because she wouldn't stop freaking smiling, right? Look, storyline-wise, she's supposed to be scared. She is a non-wrestler in a match against 2 professionals that storyline-wise want to beat the snot out of her. She's supposed to be scared. Yet, when Kelly finally tags her in, she's walking in there like she owns the place, you know? Big smile on her face, strutting her stuff, you know? Like she's at her birthday party or something, right? Hey, bitch, how about respecting the other wrestlers in the match and selling your damn role? Next was the Triple H Undertaker match. Now to me, this was the WWE doing it over and getting it right this time. In my WrestleMania 27 review video and the TNA Lockdown video after that, I talk about how at WrestleMania 27, Triple H is the dumbest character in the history of wrestling. Because how do you have The Undertaker laying helpless on the mat and you can't finish him off? You know, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And because it didn't make any sense, I could not enjoy the match. WrestleMania 28, however, was like a do-over where they got it right this time, right? This time, Triple H is smashing Undertaker relentlessly with a chair, which is what he should have done last time, but this time, there's also reason for him to hesitate. This time, Shawn Michaels is in there pushing him back, being the source of compassion in the match. See, it makes sense now. And because it makes sense, I can enjoy the match. The WWE got it right this time. Next was my bathroom break, which was the useless-ass Raw vs. SmackDown tag team match. Now, you know how fanboys like to blindly predict who the next big star is going to be? Like, the era of awesomeness has begun. You know, but, well, how many of these so-called next big stars were in this useless-ass tag team match? Let's take a look here, all right? Let's take a look. Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, Rudy Pooju, R-Truth. Look at all these so-called next big stars in this useless-ass red versus blue tag team match, all right? Maybe you fanboys ought to rethink your criteria on who you think the next big stars are going to be. The next match was the WWE title match, which once again wasn't even a part of the show's intro. Now, first of all, why is CM Punk still carrying around that spinny belt? It doesn't seem to make sense given what the character is supposed to be about. Second of all, there was nothing epic about this match. It didn't feel like a WWE title match. You know, like when you think of matches like Flair versus Savage or Rock versus Austin, this match didn't have that big match feel, you know? Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title felt bigger than this match. Heck, John Cena versus JBL felt bigger than this match. You know, there was no epic emotion to this match. You know, the best part of this match was the unintentional comedy of CM Punk trying to look pissed off. You know, like when he had Jericho in the fireman's carry and his eyes got wide and his eyes kind of crossed. Dustin the Rope! What a nerd, you know? And fanboys are trying to compare that guy to Steve Austin? What the hell? Finally we come to the main event. Rock versus Cena. The greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. Or should I say, one of the most slow and clunky WrestleMania main events of all time. Dude, Hogan versus Warrior played off more smoothly than that. Hogan versus Rock played off more smoothly than that. You know, at times it seemed like Cena and The Rock when they're like doing each move step by step, you know, like they were practicing or something, you know. It looked like a Divas match at times, you know. Even the way the match finished played off clunky. You know, Hogan missing the leg drop played off more smoothly than the way The Rock and Cena finished their match. But oh, what a match finish it was. Thank goodness for that match finish. Thank goodness The Rock won. You know, like I said 2 videos ago, to a lot of Cena lovers, this was just probably another big Cena match. Another big name Cena challenge like Triple H or Bobby Lashley for Cena to overcome. But for a lot of us older fans, this was much more than that. This match represented everything we loved about wrestling versus everything it has since become. It struck at the heart of what we had and what we lost. You know, like when I was watching this match, I wasn't even cheering. Like many fans in the crowd, I was just sitting like this. Nervous and fearful anticipation. You know, and when the referee's hand finally hit that 3 count, yeah! You know, like I emotionally released just like many fans in the crowd. You know, thank goodness. Thank goodness for that match ending. Thank goodness that never in history will it say that at WrestleMania 28, he who represents the spinny belt defeated he who represents the people. Thank goodness.